Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Media practitioners, and because you are still trying to assemble, we will still allow you a chance to do so, but alert us as quickly as possible, since we cannot continue. Our partners. We are assembled again today for a similar purpose for which we assembled yesterday. We are here with a prominent Gambian who has aspiration to occupy the highest office in this land, not for its sake, but to add value to it. Circumstances did prevent him from continuing the journey. But one cannot read a person's mind. Even those who may be allowed by circumstances to continue the journey would have still taken the decision that he has taken today. It's a decision based on conscience and national interest. We are assembled to inform you and Alhagie Kurang and his youth for change with the Doi leadership. The byproduct of that close meeting is the joint communique that I am here to present to you. The joint communique between the leaders of the People's Democratic Organization for Independence and Socialism and the independent presidential aspirant Alhagie Kurang. 12th November 2021. The meeting of the Doi leadership and Alhagie Kurang to announce the endorsement of the candidature of the Doi presidential aspirant was held at the Doi headquarters in the Kanifi municipality on the 12th of November 2021. Present at the meeting were Halifa Sallah, the Doi presidential candidate, accompanied by the members of the Doi leadership, and Alhagie Kurang, independent presidential aspirant, accompanied by members of Youth HA. At the closed-door meeting, statements were made by representatives of the two parties. The partners noted that the Gambia had experienced a major political transition on 2nd December 2016, characterized by the unseating of an entrenched government after 52 years of going to the polls without any change through the ballot. They agreed that the fundamental objective of the change in 2016 was to establish a transitional government that would carry out constitutional, legal, institutional, and normative reforms that would lead to the building of the architecture of a participatory democracy, by involving all in the change and thus create a level ground for future multi-party contests by putting an end to the abuse of incumbency which lead to self-perpetuating rule. The partners observed that the post-coalition administration has not been able to tackle the menace of corruption or draw the youth, who constitute 72% of the population, into public life, but has instead revitalized the challenges of incumbency for the 2021 election. They expressed their conviction that coalition building between partners to address the abuse of incumbency could be done to effect change for its sake or ensure substantive change of a system. They express the recognition of the existence of a sizable community among the Gambian electorate and the diaspora who are dissatisfied with the manner of state administration since 2017 and are yearning for system change to put an end to poverty and injustice. They indicated that they are assembled to endorse the change call, the clarion call for a poverty-free, injustice-free, and ignorance-free Gambia by endorsing a candidate and a programmatic policy document which will make all service accessible and available to all citizens to build a Gambia we would be proud to call our homeland. The partners agreed to append their signatures to a document that will contain the terms and conditions of endorsement of the DOI candidate by Alhagie Kurang, which will incorporate the terms and conditions expressed in the joint communique. Alhagie Kurang and the Youth for Change expressed unalloyed commitment to endorse the DOI presidential candidate and gave assurance of their determination to mobilize Gambians at home and in the diaspora to campaign for change to eradicate poverty, injustice, and ignorance. The DOI presidential candidate expressed appreciation that a coalition is being founded on the basis of mutually agreed principles and terms to give hope to our people for a better and fairer Gambia. He gave the following assurance that would be incorporated
Welcome, everybody. I take this opportunity to show the appreciation in the manner we have been received by the executive of the PDOIS and our endorsed presidential candidate, Mr. Honorable Halifa Sallah. We thank you all. After the unfortunate and unacceptable decision of the IEC to disqualify me, which we believe have no legal basis, we know that apart from legal rights, we have also political rights that at this critical moment of our country's history need to be exercised. After consultations with members of the Youth for Change that I have worked with for the past 1 year, all over the country, 1 to 2 years, all over the country, from Koina to Katong, we realized that we have to make a decision that will affect this election in December 2021. In order to reach a decision of which presidential candidate to endorse, we had consultations with members and had general agreement that a number of factors are important and must be considered. One, we believe that we need to endorse a candidate whom his beliefs, his principles, policies and plans that he stands for and that which his party stands for mirror what we stand for and what we have been preaching at Youth for Change for the past 1 to 2 years. Secondly, we believe that we should endorse a candidate whose track record, whose competency, whose knowledge enables him to be able to understand the problems that our country faces, particularly economic problems, and can provide solutions for the issues and problems that we face in the Gambia, particularly poverty. And thirdly, we also believe that we should endorse a candidate whose democratic principles stand for the defense of the weak, either as individuals or as new political entrants, that defends the rights of every citizen according to the Constitution to have the right to elect and be elected. After several deliberations with members of the Youth for Change, we feel that a decision that we have found a candidate, and therefore we decided to unconditionally endorse the PDOIS candidate, Mr. Halifa Sallah, as for the presidency of the Gambia in the December 2021 elections. We believe that Mr. Sallah, the Honorable, has the policies, the principles with the PDOIS that reflect what we stand for, that he has the competency and has the democratic credentials. We have witnessed National Assembly debates. I would say, even though I have not known Honorable Sallah and Honorable Sidia Jata, uncle, I've met them personally for the first time today, but we have followed debates in the National Assembly. And we have seen the criteria that we express here on display. We have seen how they defended the right of every citizen when the election bill was tabled, the right for every citizen to be elected and to be able to elect the candidate of their choice. For the common man to be able to participate in politics. We think this reflects what we stand for. We have heard Honorable Halifa Sallah express his desire to retire from politics. depending on the circumstances. And we think that's a reflection of his belief in democracy. And we know from what we have heard and seen over the past few days that he is committed to a one-term presidency in the spirit of bringing in institutional reforms that the people of the country have been seeking for since 2017 and establishing a level playing field and controlling the checks and balances, the power of the incumbency. We think this reflects the reasons why we joined politics and the reasons why I decided to contest for the presidency. So I hereby take this opportunity to thank everybody that supported me in my journey to seek for the presidency and to ask all my supporters all over the country to vote for the PDOI's candidate, Honorable Halifa Sallah, on December 4th, 2021. Thank you.
You've heard it. A citizen and the Republic. That contract between the citizen, the people, and the Republic is the contract that is being fulfilled today. Every citizen has a duty to serve the Republic and the people. And that should not be unreasonably derived. It should not be unjustifiably derived. That is the foundation of our Republic. So we are gathered here not in any way to marginalize that fundamental right that Alhagie Kurang has in seeking to serve his Republic and people. And we are positioned by time and circumstances to be a presidential candidate. And by virtue of time and circumstances, he could not proceed with his journey of seeking to serve his people and Republic as per the contract. So nobody can say that he has failed in performing his contract. It's the door that has not been opened for him to do what he aspired to do. But you have heard his statement loud and clear that his political right to ensure that his dream of serving his people and Republic would not be derailed by circumstances. He had to engage in consultation to be able to determine how to externalize the aspiration in a way so that it will be fulfilled. And we are inspired that he has chosen our presidential candidate. But he gave that support with conditions that the presidential candidate must continue to speak the language of maturity, must continue to speak the language of commitment, must continue to speak the language of integrity. His aspiration is to have a leadership in the Gambia that knows what is to be done to address the needs and aspirations of our people. A leadership that will be committed committed both in word and deed to those aspirations, and a leadership that has no hunger for power and no hunger to perpetuate. Those are core values that we share, and core values we wish to pursue to transform into instruments, institutions, and mindset, so that a new Gambia will be born out of the work, the toil and moil of new Gambia. So assembled here are people who are determined to show that they have real love for country and people, and are willing to give their very lives in the service of country and people. And we want the electorate to measure the practice of those assembled here against those aspirations. We will be proceeding to build up the relationship and work together, knowing fully well that one mind does not build a nation. The collective intelligence of the population that can guide, and ensure that our collective destiny is assured. That is why we are here, assembled, you witnessing this great day, history being made by people who know that adversity does not have any place in conquering our resolve. Once we face one adversity, we develop the resolve, the resilience to move forward to victory. We have the people here who are ready not to be conquered, but the people who will always be ready to conquer the ills of our society, to free our people from poverty, ignorance, and injustice. We thank you very much for all that you have said, your kind words, but it's also a challenge. We must meet expectations, because those who betray expectations are expected to be condemned by history. But those who fulfill expectations will be absolved by history. We hope that this decision you have taken today will not be regretted tomorrow by discovering the very opposite of what we have expected or realized. We assure you that we too will be guarding our words and actions so that we will meet the expectations that we have of our leadership. Thank you very much.
We have always used the word change in everything we do, Youth for Change. We see the same things that's been talked about on and on with the PDOIS in all their platforms. So the choice was very simple and natural for us when we consulted with our members, and we said that whatever choice we make should not be because me or the leadership desires some benefits, personal benefits, between the endorsement that we make. And that was completely and mutually agreed. And after that, the criteria which I have mentioned, I think the DOIC manifesto is clear. We also had a manifesto that we have produced for the past 1 year. And we think that we made a manifesto by going around talking to people around the country. And when we looked at the things that they have been saying in regards to their manifesto, there are similarities. Right? People ask, "Oh, are you socialist?" We said, "No, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a socialist to agree with some of the things that the PDOI is saying." And secondly, to make an endorsement does not necessarily mean that you agree with everything that His Excellency Honorable Halifa and my uncle Honorable Sidia are saying. But in principle, if you have to make a choice and you have to look at the best possible option, then you have to set yourself some criteria. And key among those is what is the vision that the PDOIS has to offer? What is the credential, the competency? Because leadership, becoming the president of a country, it's not just for me to say, oh, I'm an accountant, I'm an economist, or I'm a lawyer. I mean, you have to show people and you have to bring out to people how you intend to solve the current problems that we have in the country. And we cannot just assume that I am a professional in such and such a profession, then I have the answers. No, the people must hear the proposals. The people must hear how you intend to solve the problems and evaluate them. And I think the PDOIS have not shied away from giving out their solutions, which I may have reservations, here and there. But in general, the principle, here is my solution, is what leadership is all about. And let's talk about it. And we also said, yeah, we still, Youth for Change, have a desire to participate in coming elections, be them parliamentary and also council elections. But here we have a partnership, and I believe that this will be a continuous thing, and we will keep talking. At the end of the day, what is important, the overriding importance is what is best for the Gambia. Thank you very much.
We have a partnership with APP, and that is a partnership with Trend. So a trio has emerged. Whether it will quadruple, we don't know. But at least we started with UNO, I think. What language is that? But eventually the linguist immediately answered me. But now, yesterday it was two, but we have moved to trio today. Well, we are making progress. We are making progress because it's not about the numbers, it's about the direction. It's about the quality. It's about the capacity to solve problems. And the trio we have now clearly would demonstrate that they have the capacity to address the problems of this nation. And in that regard, we have taken the right decision at the right time to be able to address the demands of 2021. And the demand is for a third force that can clearly tell the Gambian people what their problems are and how they are to be solved, so that they will not be misled by all the fanfare that tends to distract. There's nothing wrong with fanfare. But what the Constitution says is that the sovereignty of the Republic resides in you. And no authority should emerge in this country that is not derived from your authority. And no authority should be utilized in this country but to promote your general welfare. So you are now being consulted to entrust your authority to someone, your power to someone, to promote your general welfare. Once you disconnect these three elements, the sovereignty in you, entrusting it to someone else, and having that person deliver the services that will ensure that you live in prosperity, liberty, and dignity. Once you disconnect that, then election becomes meaningless. we are engaged then in a futile exercise. So if we are to engage in a real exercise of being a citizen of a country, then you should listen very carefully to what has come from this book. That you are the sovereign Gambian. You are the very important person who all leaders must now seek to be your trustee. You have your power, the might of power, but you are to seek a trustee to give that responsibility to utilize that power in your interest. That's what it is all about. After all the fanfare, that's the core element that we must now conserve, and this force will ensure that yes, fanfare will be there, but we will not allow you to lose sight of the core reasons why you are a citizen, why you are a depository of the sovereignty of our land, and why you must not be someone who can be handled in any way, and misled in any way, and dominated in any way, so that you continue to be born in poverty, to live in poverty, and die in poverty. That is no longer acceptable. When we have all these people with the knowledge that society deems to be the liberator of mind. If knowledge is to liberate, then we must own ourselves by virtue of that knowledge. Thank you very much. We assure you that we'll continue the partnership till, we say, eternity. Thank you very much.
Mante iworni kan anyilati mo fam pour mi nga pikireti coronavirus. Wafuyi sentimati uwaranu kan anyilati amo fam bungol nga pikireti coronavirus. Pikireti coronavirus kankan wanu manje anu sana manje ndugo ba solution unyen disigaba wonu pour munu jo nga pikireti coronavirus. Anu sana jogoro yo kengare bengo. Yanku pour mbeja ngare pikireti coronavirus. Fangu chengi wankone national identity card wonu pour munu jo nga ama pikireti coronavirus kantu mati wonu yisen kayit kasi kayit mati aw anyilati mo fam mu ngol ba makayta pikireti coronavirus. Corona idare anu sana jogoro nanu baje masimi taringa unyen disigaba pour ngol pour munu jo nga pikireti coronavirus bodo kantu mati wu kantu ja anyina si mo fam mati ama esukay dangambe la ngol nga pikireti coronavirus. Coronavirus mutabala le patio mutinyayo